bangles. Look at the bangles, and you get the whole stack. Now, these are not the rolling bangles, and these are at a special savings of $29 to $29.95 from $34.95, and free shipping. And okay, I can't say the name of the designer because I would get in some big serious trouble with our upstairs legal department if I did. But let me tell you a little story about jewelry and designers, and every one of them will probably agree with me. Every one of them. Our minds work in a very unique way. If you're a designer or a curator and something's in trend, like something that has like a cable link is in trend, it sticks in your mind. And then when you start to create, if you start to draw, your mind will take fragments of things that you've seen in your life and integrate it into what you do as a designer. That's human nature. That's not a surprise to anyone. So if you see an influence in a piece of jewelry, like these fabulous bangle bracelets that look like in silver from a leading designer, they should cost, I don't know what you would pay, $500 a piece for them. For $29.95 for the whole stack. There's 700 of these. I expect this to be the #1 selling collection in the show for this reason. They look expensive. They're lightweight. You can hear that they're lightweight. You can hear by that clanging that they don't have that clunking sound. You receive 2 polished, one's wider than the other. You receive one that looks somewhat like a San Marco link, but it's obviously a bangle. You receive a cable link, and then you have a textured bangle. Now, you can wear these mixed together with other bracelets. I just want you to know that this is already a customer pick. Huge customer pick on our website at hsn.com, and you're going to love wearing them with the bracelets you already have. If you have silver or white gold, you're going to love mixing the two medias together. You're not going to have to feel like, oh, it's strange looking, it doesn't, you know, or it's uncomfortable. It's going to be brilliant. And you know what? No one will know you're wearing steel. And they will not scratch. The #1 reason to own these is that they're going to be more durable than anything you've got in your bracelet collection because they are steel. I could step on this and I probably wouldn't scratch it. I'm not going to do that because it's kind of tasteless. But and you know what, Victoria? Grab the other side of the bracelet. Now, you turn one way and I'll turn the other. You're a strong girl. Okay, look. It didn't dent, it didn't bend. Look. It's the same diameter that it was when we started. Look. Flat. You never knew you'd be playing tug-of-war with Bill Green today, did you? Is that amazing? So, you know what? You're really going to enjoy these because they are more durable, they are stronger, and they're going to look great with your other jewelry. And mix it with your gem jewelry, too. I think that's going to be fun. You know, I think what's really cool about Stately Steel is that if you bought it today, especially if you bought bracelets like this, if you bought it today, in 10 years, it's not going to go out of style. It's not going to be some boring bracelet set that ends up at the bottom of your jewelry box that you never see again. I've been in this business for 30 years, and in 30 years that I've been in the jewelry business and, well, and retail overall, I sold bangle bracelets that were polished and cleaned like this back in white gold and silver 30 years ago. They don't go out of style. And that's what you want to invest in first in anything. You buy the basics first, you buy all the, you know, fluffy, trendy stuff later. And you should buy some trend-setting stuff. I mean, sometimes you'll see me like in a perforated leather jacket. I have some very trendy clothes, but I typically dress classic as you know, somebody who loves clothes to death because it's never going to go out of style. And, I mean, a sport coat that's the right look and it fits you properly will not be fashion exhausted in 2 years. These are smoking hot. They're popular. Please call us or go online to hsn.com. Read the stellar reviews that people have about these bracelets. Free shipping for the day. From what I understand from my producer, Daryl, they're doing so well that they probably will sell out very shortly. And you know what? We have them in 6.5 with the wrist size. We have an 8-inch bracelet, or we have, which is the medium large. And then we have a small medium. So it's 6.5 to 7 or 8.5, up to 8.5 to 8 and 3. Oh, wait, largest hand measurement, 8 3/4. So if you have a large hand, here's what you do. Let me show you. I don't want to sound like I'm, confusing you. Let me show you this. Okay, how do you know how to buy bracelets from HSN? Find a tape measure in your sewing box. Close your hand and measure around the widest part of your hand. If I say this is a 7.5-inch bracelet, that's the measurement. 7.5 inches there. So that's the inner circumference of the bracelet. So you'll know when you go to slide it on your hand that it'll fit over your knuckles. Okay? That's really important to know. Okay, so we have them in two sizes. We have the small, medium, medium, large. Small, medium, it says, will work up to an 8-inch wrist, and it will fit a wrist from 6.5 to 7. So it's actually a larger circumference than your hand would be. So you should not buy these in the smaller size if your hand measurement is over 7 inches. The medium large, 8.5 inches. Okay, you should not buy it if your hand measurement is any larger than 8 3/4. Stack them with the gem. Okay, listen. And do this. Do this from a fashion perspective. Mix them with these gorgeous crystal bracelets, and now you've got the look of white gold and gems to go along with them. And these are crazy. Look, 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 look. I'll just kind of blend them. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like this. Look, I'll just kind of put a couple of these on, and then I'm going to put that down there. Look, this is how you do bracelets. Oh, wait. Ta-da. Just kind of mix it up. You know what? Victoria's going to do this. She's got the gem bracelets over there. We'll slide some on her wrist. And you know what? Now you've got a story that does not look matchy-matchy. I once met this designer in Hong Kong. She wasn't a designer, excuse me. She was a buyer for a very famous apparel company, and she had like bracelets.